Good evening, AuthorTube. My name is Lauren Severe, and welcome to my channel. So I talked to you guys a little bit last time about the competition that I'm going to here in a couple of weeks to pitch my young adult fantasy novel, Songs of Autumn, to publishers. And I also have talked a lot about how I was in the editing trenches for a hot minute. So I did do another video, which I will link down below, called My War on the Word Was. And that video was basically about how I had the word was in my manuscript like 1.5 million times. Well, that was a problem because, you know, active voice, passive voice, all that. Guess what I found after I got rid of all of those wases out of my manuscript? There's another little pesky word that snuck in, and this time it is the word felt. That's right, felt. I have the word felt in this manuscript a bajillion times, and it's a problem for a whole new reason. Now that I've finally switched from passive voice to active voice, I have figured out a totally new problem that I have while editing this manuscript, and that is that I'm using telling language, like the word felt, instead of showing language. I know y'all have probably heard this more than once or seen more than one video, but yes, the word felt is a problem, and it is a problem because it tells the reader that somebody felt some kind of way instead of showing them so they could be immersed in the experience. Now, I will say this. When you switch from telling language to showing language, it is much easier to keep your word count down whenever you're just telling people what's going on, but it's not so much fun for the reader. Personally, I don't want to be told that somebody felt some kind of way. I want to feel it right along with them. In fact, I want to get so mad or cry or upset that a main character is going through something that I throw a book. When I throw a book, I know it's really good. Anyway, then I pick it up and apologize to it and put it back on my bookshelf. But, so that is why I wanted to talk to you guys about the word felt today. Now, why is it a problem word? I talked a little bit about this, showing versus telling. But what does that really mean? So showing the reader something is using description and action to help the readers experience the story, whereas telling uses summarization and exposition to tell the reader what's happening instead of them feeling it alongside the characters. Now, this can clunk up your prose, so you still want to be as succinct as possible. Be very careful with your word choices. Otherwise, you're going to end up with an inflated word count and possibly a lot of wasses, which we don't want, right? Last time I used a quick example, and I used Susan as the bad guy in that scenario. I'm going to do the same thing here, and I'm going to use Susan again. We really don't like Susan, do we? Anyway, if your name is Susan, we love you. It's just a placeholder, I promise. So anyway, let's see. A telling sentence would be Susan felt scared. Susan, the subject, did the thing, felt, because that's the word I'm mad at, scared. But while it tells us that she felt scared, it doesn't really tell us anything else. And it's not very descriptive and not very interesting, right? But it's only a 3-word sentence. So it does lead to low word counts. Again, this may inflate your word count a little bit, but you definitely want to make sure that you're, doing a lot more showing than telling so that the readers can feel right alongside these characters. Anyway, so this same sentence, Susan felt scared, but changing the word felt and adding a little more descriptive, i.e. the 5 senses, would be something like, and I did jot something down, so let me just read it so I don't sound like a total idiot. Cold dread spread like tendrils down Susan's spine, her terrified breath fogging the car window. Yeah, so that tells us she's hiding or is trapped in a car, that it's cold outside, and that she is really freaking scared. So that tells us a lot about where she is in the world, what she's doing, and how she's feeling, and we can kind of feel right alongside her. Of course, this will be better in a larger manuscript, or a paragraph or something, but you get the idea. Anyway, once I have finally switched from passive voice to active voice, and now that I am working on getting rid of all of those showing words like felt and, the telling words like felt and showing the readers what's going on so that they can experience everything, now maybe I can have somewhat of a clean manuscript to take to this competition. I really hope that y'all are rooting for me. Anyway, that's all I have to say about this today. Thanks. Like and subscribe to this very short video. Have a wonderful day. Do you have problems with show versus tell? Because I obviously do. Anyway, have a good night. Goodbye.